Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. We are the Real Pineapple. This is Hunter here, and I'm here with Scott. Scott, how you doing, sir?
Doing good, bud. How are you?
I'm doing really well. I'm very curious to get your thoughts on what we're about to review. We are talking about the movie that is based off of the nickname for my penis. We're talking about The Dark Tower, and you like that one, Scott? We're talking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I thought you'd appreciate that.
You know I like it.
Yeah, I know you do. You're so deprived. Depraved? Deprived. Deprived. That's it.
Both.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Why not? But, so this movie, hearing the reviews going in, this has been getting blasted. So I was very curious, actually, to see what people were so upset about. And I don't know about you. I haven't read the books. You haven't read them, right?
Nope.
Okay.
How many are there?
I believe there's 8, if memory serves. So this has been a thing for a while, but I just...
So there's a lot of disappointed people out there? Is that what it sounds like?
That's exactly what it sounds like. That there's a lot of people who are just really mad. And what I've heard, too, is that it seems like they took 2 or 3 of the books and kind of mashed them into one. That's what it sounds like, at least. Okay. But let's kind of jump in. So, full disclosure here, I did miss the first 10 minutes because Detroit did run long. So, I basically started... I literally walked in when the kid was getting chased out by who looked like a repairman. I'm assuming he was one of the aliens were in the skin.
Yeah, so like this young boy, Jake, the movie opens with a dream, and he has this dream about what is basically I'm not going to spoil it too much, but about what is basically going on with the Man in Black and what he's trying to do that has to do with the Dark Tower. Let me just put that out there.
There you go.
So he has like these really bad dreams, and he starts drawing. So he has drawings all over his room, and his parents are worried about him, and they think that he's crazy, but he's trying to convince them that he's not crazy. They're not dreams. They're basically he's seeing into the future, or into the past, whatever. So and that's kind of when she recommends, actually his stepdad recommends to his wife that, or the boy's mom, that they should get him into this specific psychiatric hospital it's all like science based and like top quality. So they convince the kid to do it, and so when they show up, one of the things in his dreams that they kind of flash throughout this movie is that a lot of the people that occupy this certain universe are either aliens or something, but the skin that they wear, the human skin, is just that. It's skin. It's like an outfit, and you can tell because behind their ear there's like an incision, and you can kind of tell that. So right off the bat, when these people come to get him, he realizes that he sees this little mark behind their ear, realizing that they're not who they say they are, and he books it. So that's kind of where you jumped into it, was when he's running away from these people who are trying to take him and use his shine. I don't think that would be spoiling too much. And to do it for some diabolical reason that we'll get to later. But yeah, that's kind of where they left. You left off, or jumped right in, I should say. And then from there, it's kind of he runs into a gunslinger, and who's kind of the nemesis of this Man in Black, played by Matthew McConaughey. And this gunslinger, Idris Elba, Roland, is kind of his nemesis, so to speak.
So let me just talk real quick about Matthew McConaughey. So this movie, I think, escapes being bad just because of Idris Elba as Roland, aka the Gunslinger, and Matthew McConaughey. Matthew McConaughey as the Man in Black is a grade A asshole in this movie. He is such a dick all the time, and yet I found myself going, "That's Matthew McConaughey. He's kind of charming, you know. Me, he's just bad enough that I could change him. He he he's really good in this." And again, because I am a nerd, I kept sitting there thinking, God, he would make a great Green Goblin. Like Marvel, make it happen. But I thought he was awesome in this, and it's been not a while, but it's been a little bit since we've seen him in a movie that's been really good. So yeah, it was cool to see him kind of, I mean, hamming up, but hamming up in the best way possible. Kind of your thoughts on that?
This is probably where we're going to disagree the most. Because I did not like Matthew McConaughey in this.
God damn it, Scott.
I had like an existential crisis where I'm like, wait a second. Do I not like Matthew McConaughey anymore? Like, is that like is this the reality where I'm at? And all I could see was picture him in one of those Lincoln ads where he's like very somber and like extra serious and
boo.
I'm sorry. I didn't like. Actually, you know what? I'm not sorry.
Ugh, God.
I just didn't like him in this. I felt like he was like ultra dramatic and not scary to me. And that's a lot of the problems that I had with this movie is that it wasn't scary enough. Like, I feel like they could have really drawn that out and tried to play on the whole darkness and goodness thing, but they didn't really allude to that. Like, you told me before this movie that like you like from what you saw, Matthew McConaughey was like the devil. Yeah. And it kind of appeared that way, but like I didn't know for sure. They didn't really allude to it or even explicitly say that he was the devil, but he just had these powers and they didn't really talk about it. He just happened to be in all black and he ran this whole operation, and I didn't know anything about him other than that, and he just wasn't that like dark cloud over this movie that I wanted him to be. He didn't really scare me that much. I felt like he maybe could have, but I don't know. I think they might have picked somebody else. But I will agree with you wholeheartedly that Idris Elba carried this movie. And all right, get over yourself.
Hey, be nice.
I'm trying to agree with you over here. The Gunslinger, I think, was definitely the star of this movie. And say what you will about the movie overall, I think that he was definitely the best part. He had like the most action scenes. He was involved with Jake closely. I feel like they had pretty good chemistry. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't enough for me. Him carrying this movie was not enough for me to enjoy it.
All right, let me jump in here and give the correct opinion. Idris Elba, you were right. We will agree on that. I thought Idris Elba was fantastic in this, and I thought the chemistry him and the kid had actually worked pretty well. Again, I guess we're gonna disagree on that because you're a big old dummy. But I really liked the movie. I thought I'm trying to find out the kid who played Tom Taylor. I thought he was really good in this. Actually, him and Idris Elba have some good chemistry. There's a point Idris Elba looks like he's gonna drop this kid off a cliff, and I'm not gonna lie, I chuckle a little bit just because Idris Elba at the point he didn't give a fuck. He's like he just been like, kid, I'll drop you off this tower. It sounded like Liam Neeson when he did it, but it was great though. I fucking love that shit. I was dying. But honestly though, the chemistry is there. I would have liked to have seen, and I think we'll probably agree on this, I would have liked to have seen more Idris Elba interacting with Matthew McConaughey. I would like.
Yes, for sure. Because you knew that in the past they had fought, but like it was established early on that it was one of those things they almost couldn't kill each other. Matthew McConaughey's powers against Roland were like he didn't have any power over him, so that kind of left them on a level playing field. Even though the Man in Black can like catch bullets and like kill people instantaneously, but the gunslinger is one of those guys. So yeah, I felt like they didn't build that rivalry up enough. You know what I mean?
I agree. I mean, that's the thing. I think we might be closer on this than you think we are. I mean, I enjoyed this, but yeah, the fact I believe this is a book series that's 8 films in, and the fact that this is only 90 minutes, the fact that Emoji Movie I think is 10 minutes less than this, it felt there's a lot of anthology here they're trying to cram in, and they needed an additional 20 minutes. I mean, can we agree on that? Like, they at least need 20 more minutes?
Yeah, for sure. It was. I mean, I wouldn't wanted to see it, but I think that maybe 20 more minutes would have helped it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, that's the thing. Some of your complaints, fine, I agree with them. I know that sounds dismissive, but fine, whatever. But I do agree with some of your complaints. I mean, I think there are people who will think that Matthew McConaughey was chewing the scenery a little bit, but I don't know. It looked like he was having fun with the role, All right. I don't know. I enjoyed him. I will say it's something that really worked for me was the action with Idris Elba. This just proved. I mean, the movie's not great. I will agree on that. But if there's any case for Idris Elba to be Bond, I just sat there thinking, man, he could do a lot of these action scenes, and even when he's being gruff, he's suave as shit. I mean, how do you not love Idris Elba? So, I thought, I agree with you, Scott. I thought he really did carry his movie a lot more than some people may think. And again, I don't have the books as a point of reference, but I will say I enjoyed this. There was a very clever Easter egg as we kind of wrap here to 1408, because that's like the code that they used to enter what's it called, Middle Earth, or mid something, hay something. I can't remember what they call Earth. I'm totally
they call it
Keystone Earth. That's it.
Keystone Earth,
which
was, I'm sorry, that's a dumb name.
It's a dumb name.
They all the names they came up with for this were dumb.
It's a dumb name, Scott. Scott's a dumb name. That's what I think.
Don't take this so personally.
No, I enjoyed this. I mean, is it great? No. They do set up for a sequel, which I doubt's gonna happen. But I mean, yeah. I guess they're doing this as a TV series. I don't know if you heard about that. And I'll be honest, Scott. When I got through with this movie, when it ended, I thought, man, this would be a lot better suited for a TV series, because I feel like there's so much anthology to flesh out that, if you have a 12 episode series, 12 episode season on FX, you could flush out this anthology, because there's good stuff there. It just does feel like it's rushed a little bit. So getting to our final thoughts here, Idris Elba, God, give this man a fucking franchise to run with. Make him Jon Stewart for Green Lantern. Make him Bond. Make him something. Like, he deserves a goddamn franchise shot. He's an incredible actor.
What I was thinking about that I really loved him in was Luther.
Dude, Luther's amazing, and that's actually coming back for another season. I think next year. Actually, I'm stoked for that. We need to review Luther. We'll do that in Me and You podcast. We'll review Luther. Scott, we're reviewing Luther. That's happening now.
Let's do it.
Oh, we'll totally do that. But anyways, getting back here, Idris Elba really does show that he can carry something, and I totally forgot that he was on The Office and how much I loved him on there, even after the show started to kind of lose its footing a little bit. He was great on there, and I love so much about certain points in this movie. Love is a little strong. I like certain things about this movie, pardon me, but it's not great, but it's not the 18% that Rotten Tomatoes is giving it. That's fucking ridiculous. The Emoji Movie's only at 7%. This is way better than the Emoji Movie, but it's a low bar to clear, admittedly. So I'm gonna give this a C+. I think if you rent this at home with a nice surround sound, a nice TV, You know, you just chill out. I think there's enough here that you could say you rented it and that you didn't waste, $5 or whatever it is to rent something. So, yeah, C plus for me. Scott, your final thoughts and grade, sir.
That's that's a worse grade than I thought you were gonna give it.
Really?
But yeah, I think we are gonna be pretty similar on this. I didn't walk out of this hating it, but it wasn't fun, and I think that it could have been better, especially in terms of plot line. I don't know. The thing that this whole movie hinged on was. Should I spoil it?
Dance around it.
All right. So the thing that this whole movie hinges on is like what is the fuel for their machine is like kind of silly to me, and they don't really even explain the other world, the world that the man in black lives in.
Oh, I'm sorry, but you give Stranger Things a fan fucking. I'm sorry.
Easy.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, yeah, okay. To be fair.
No, but they like Stranger Things. There's a mystery out there, but it continues on throughout the storyline. It's more of like an unknown piece. Like they just introduce for a second like this small world that the Man in Black lives in. Of like you might not have seen it in the very beginning, but when he's having his dream. They call a bunch of people to like everyone's like having fun and playing and in this little town, and then they get these beeps start going off on their wrists, like their little, I don't know, Apple iWatch or something.
Well, it's like it's like the upside down thing. You're gonna give Stranger Things a second season, and you're not gonna give a second movie.
Don't even start with me. You had your chance.
All right.
I wish things were explained a little bit more, and I just kind of felt confused at points, and it didn't really get going. The action didn't really get going, and I had a big problem with the way that the Man in Black died at the end, and I'm not gonna give it away, but there's some fucking gunslinger tomfoolery going on here, and it was kind of bullshit.
Tomfoolery, wow.
So, but I wasn't angry at this movie, so I gotta give this like a C-.
God. Give Stranger Things a pass. I see how it is. Stars.
Unfortunately, we don't have to agree on everything here.
I know. It's just when you're wrong, I want to correct you, but that's fine. Whatever. Honestly, I can't even be mad at your complaints because they are valid. I don't know. It just didn't get to me as much. But here's hoping that the thing is, there's a good movie here. I really believe there's a good concept here, but it just might work better as a TV show. It really just might. So I'm curious to hear about the TV show.
It's honestly, and then hearing from you that it's like was multiple books.
Yeah.
That has me wondering too. Like I feel like I missed out on a ton.
Yeah, dude. 90 it's like 92 minutes. That is short for Stephen King. Like for Stephen King, anything, let alone what it sounds like this is. So yeah, hour 35 minutes, which is just crazy. So 95 minutes, that's kind of insane to fit as much as we're trying to fit in. So I will say also, just in closing here, I thought the gunslinger stuff was pretty cool. The way he'd reload his bullets, it kind of reminded me of a Terminator when you swing the shotgun on the bicycle on the Harley or whatever. I love that shit. So just reloading in a cool way. I'm a sucker for that. So
no, totally. I like the action in this. Like, it was good. Like, I feel like I just wanted more. Like, give me, and I kind of piggyback on what you're saying, 90 minutes. Like, at least throw another 15, 20 minutes in there and see what you can do with it.
Yeah. No, this could have used some extra time, so it's a little unfortunate. They're not getting a sequel to this. That is not happening. I mean, unless this does well overseas. I mean, I didn't think we'd have like 6 or however many Resident Evil movies, so maybe this does well overseas and it warrants a sequel, but I don't know. We'll see. But guys, let us know what you thought of the Dark Tower. Follow us here on SoundCloud at The Real Pineapple. You can like us on Facebook at The Real Pineapple. Follow us on Podbean, iTunes, and Google Play now. Go ahead and subscribe, leave us a rating at The Real Pineapple. You can follow yours truly on the Twitter at JHunterRealPineapple. Follow Colin on Twitter at The Real, that's REEL O'Neill. And you can follow Scott on Twitter at
Newman the First.
Guys, thank you so much for listening. We'll have a review up this weekend for Detroit, a review up for Logan, and we'll have a review up for Ingrid Goes West. I'm so excited to see that. I hope it's really good. Guys, thank you so much for listening. We'll talk to you soon.
Peace.